2020 has been a real
Year 12 2020, what a year it's been for you.
This too shall pass. Your resilience and how you've just pushed through has been completely inspiring. You got this.
You've got this.
You got this.
You've got this.
Remember, you've got this.
G'day Year 12s, I'm Dr. Andrew Rochford and I'm here with recent Year 12 graduate Antonia to talk to some experts about what's next for you guys. Today we're talking with Alice Bleathman, who is a practicing dietitian and nutritionist. She's here to talk about pursuing your passion despite what anyone says. Alice, thank you so much for joining us.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to share my hopeful wisdom with you guys.
So a lot of us, like myself, have just graduated, and you graduated back in 2014. What was that time like for you?
I had a lot of mixed feelings. There was one part of me that was super, super excited and, the world was my oyster kind of feeling. And then there was another part of me that was incredibly nervous because obviously, I'd spent the past decade at school and being told what to do and what subjects to take. And then all of a sudden it was like, okay, now what? And I guess when I was at school, I absolutely loved school. I had a huge, strong friendship group. And so coming out of that, I was I had an immense amount of kind of fear, but also excitement. So yeah, the time was exciting, but fearful, but that's expected, I guess, coming out of year 12 for sure.
And how stressed were you about your ATAR and the lead up to that?
I'm not going to lie, I was very stressed about it.
So you end up receiving an 99 ATAR, but then you opted for a course that was a 62 entry level. Was that a difficult decision for you?
Look, it wasn't easy. I think, I had a lot of teachers telling me to do medicine or law because I had, quote unquote, the brains. I think during school, I kind of convinced myself that I was law or medicine was something that I wanted to do. I didn't really think about it until I got my ATAR and then sort of thought about it and stepped back and I was like, do I even want to be a doctor? Is this even something that I want to do? So the decision was really, really hard because I kind of had a bit of conflicting kind of opinions, both from myself and from, my school and my family. But yeah, now I think for me, having the year off and taking that gap year was really, really important and made that decision a lot easier.
The funny thing is, Alice, your story is the complete opposite of mine, which is I didn't get the mark that I needed to get into medicine. And so I was driven in the opposite direction, which was I had to make sure that I was committed enough to be able to get there and do the work. And I think it is the same decision-making, isn't it? It's really just deciding what do you want to do. The ATAR is really just a number. And then deciding I want to be who I want to be and following that.
At the end of the day, when you finish school, you're 17 or 18 years old. How can you be expected to know exactly what you want to do when you grow up, quote unquote? So don't stress about it either. Not many people know what they want to do. And if you do, great, but it's okay if you don't.
What advice could you give someone that is a bit unsure of what to do?
Look, I'm a bit biased because I took a gap year after year 12 because I was in the exact same boat. So I didn't know what to do. I was on the fence on what to study. So I took a year off and I backpacked around Europe for 4 months. And it was the best decision I'd ever made. I discovered who I was personally and what I wanted to do professionally as well. So definitely I'm a massive advocate for gap years. Obviously, at the time we're in at the moment, it's pretty hard to travel to Europe, but that doesn't mean you can't travel across Australia or even just have a year off to work and just figure yourself out. Other than that, I just think that chatting to people who are in the profession that you're thinking about doing. So for example, if you wanted to be a dietitian, chatting to somebody like me who's already working as a dietitian, or a doctor, chatting to someone like Andrew.
At what point did you realize this is exactly what I wanted to do and this is the right course for me?
To be honest, I think it was that first day of uni where I was in that tutor and there were just people surrounded with the same passion as me. However, that's not to say that I didn't kind of question, what I was doing throughout the entire 5 years of my degree. There were some moments where I was like, is this even what I want to do? Do I even want to be a dietitian? Maybe I should do this. Maybe it would have been easier if I was a doctor, all that sort of stuff. But I guess at the end of the day, I asked myself, well, what else would I want to be doing if I wasn't doing this? And I couldn't give myself an answer. So I'm glad I did, because I'm doing a job that I absolutely love.
Alice, do you have any final thoughts for the class of 2020?
If you don't know what to do, it is okay. No one really knows what they're doing. So yeah, just be kind to yourself, and stay safe and stay healthy.
Thank you so much for your time, Alice, and your wonderful advice around finishing school. And thanks to everyone else for tuning in. For more videos, tips, and links to professional services, visit You Got This website. Stay healthy, and remember, drinking alcohol won't relieve stress and anxiety. Look after yourself and look after your friends. This is a message that's been brought to you by Drinkwise.